Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us today. If you have, if not, go ahead and share this show tonight. We will be live for probably about an hour or so. Thank you for joining us here at Pursuing Paranormal. Tonight, we are live, and right here with me tonight is my good buddy that I've known for a couple years now. He's a pretty successful YouTuber and a big part of the Fandom Menace and Fandom Collective, and overall great guy, great husband, and a great dad. May I introduce you? Etep Wokuian is the place to be reviews. Pete, what's going on, man?
Hey, brother. Well, thank you for having me on first and foremost. It's great to be here, and it's fun. It's always fun to get to stream with you, man, because we go back like to the Anchor days before my channel was really a channel when it was just a podcast.
Hell yeah, man.
So yeah, dude. And like I said, you're part of one of the most infamous episodes, the one where we lost like 3 hours.
Yep.
And we had to do it again the next night, and it was like Jesus. We went another like 2 or 3 hours the next night. It was so much fun though.
That was
Um,
so much fun, and it was like the simple days where we didn't have any editing or anything. We just put on the what was it, like like Google Live or something like
oh, we had
that.
Google Hangouts back then, but
Hangouts, yeah.
yeah.
We just
Oh,
sat there. No, we had an icon, and that's it. We
yep,
didn't do
yeah.
anything.
No, there was no putting up banners and brands and different backgrounds and GIF clips and intros and outros, stuff like that. Dude, yeah, it was a much simpler time. Look at Tina Bojan's in your chat. She is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful woman. She's a great supporter in the community.
Cool.
Hail Tina Bojan. Super fan Adam Shawhan, of course, who
Adam, what is up, dude?
I'll be sharing a hotel room with Adam this weekend as we're going to Grand Rapids Comic Con.
Oh,
Uh,
cute.
yep, yeah, we're hanging out with another comic skater, Phoenix Animation, the comic skate metalsmith. Actually, I have some of his goods right here. I can show off. Hang on a
Cool.
second. I'm reaching
Do it.
over here to
Yeah,
grab them.
everybody in the chat, thank you so much for joining me tonight. We got Adam Shawhan, Comics Du Nord, Mr. Peabody, Tina Bojan. Thank you so much.
Let's see. There's
What do we
my
got?
it's a metal trading card. It's
Oh, it's
my
badass, dude.
Yep. It's the green screen kind of throws it off, but it's my Twitter picture too. We the Phantom Collective made those, and then he made me this, which is dope as hell. It's got my channel logo on it,
Holy cow.
which is the Dharma Initiative, and is a you can hear. I'll do the ASMR, some noises. Just that's
Adam made that church key?
uh no this is from Phoenix Animation.
Oh, from Phoenix. Okay,
Yep,
cool.
yeah. This is from Phoenix. He sent me these. He's doing his books are his campaigns currently. He has Reclaiming Zendara,
Oh,
and Galden on Indiegogo right now. Great artist, and just a cool guy. So he actually bought me a pass for this Comic Con like 3 or 4 months ago, and he was like, "Hey," he goes, "You're in Michigan?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "I'm in Grand Rapids for Comic Con. I'm going to be there." He goes, "In August." He goes, "You want to come down and hang out? I'll get you a pass." I'm like, "Yeah." So he got me a pass, and yeah. So I told Adam, I was like, "Hey," he's like, "I'll come up." I'm like, "All right." So we're gonna hang out there Saturday. Got the room booked, and yeah, we're right by, not too far, within Uber distance, and yeah, so it'll be fun. I was like taking inventory of the beer in my fridge because I always take a cooler of beer with me. I don't care where I'm going. I'm taking a cooler of beer and liquor. I come prepared. So I was counting. I'm like, let's see. I kind of was like, I got 28 beers. My wife was like, "Gee, you're going for one night." I'm like, "Yeah." I
you're
was
just
like, "Yeah."
split them,
I was like,
maybe.
you want? I want to make sure I have enough. I've got Coronas, I've got Coors Light, I've got Stella Artois, I've got vodka, I've got rum, you know. And I found a good use for that Mio, the little Mio things, the
I thought you
tanger.
said mayo. I'm like,
No,
what?
no, no. If you take the tangerine Mio and you mix that with a John Daly, for those of you out there who don't know what a John Daly is, an Arnold Palmer with some vodka in it. I like to use raspberry vodka. Use whatever flavor you like, but with the raspberry and the Arnold Palmer, you mix some of that tangerine Mio in there, and it's delicious. And also the orange Gatorade. You take the orange Gatorade, mix the tangerine Mio with some vodka. It tastes exactly like Orange Crush soda.
You're all about the orange, man. You should be here in Florida. Come on, man.
I'm telling you, man. I
Come
thought
on,
orange.
man.
Come on, man. It is. It's just it's delicious. It is absolutely delicious.
Let me acknowledge the chat. We got Frank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan. What's up, man? We got Fun University. What is up? I don't know you, but thanks for joining us. But yeah, so I guess we'll get started.
Yeah.
So basically, these shows, if you guys haven't watched my first live stream video that I did a few days ago or last week, I forgot when it was, but I discussed what I wanted to do with the channel, and one of the big things I want to do is either do live shows or recorded videos, but do interviews and do shows with people and just talk about the paranormal, whether whatever it is that you believe in that's related to the paranormal. Usually associated with that is like hauntings and spooks, and you know, anything of the like, spirits and ghosts and such and so forth. But I wanted to just have conversations about it instead of watching strictly just TV shows or reality shows of people running around all shaky cam. I wanted to just have conversations with people, and I want most of every episode to be different. Of course, you're coming back on the show on the channel, of course, but just to get different people's perspective and different stories and just their backgrounds and what they think of this kind of stuff and what they really believe in, and if they have anything really really cool to talk about, to share with people and to kind of get that knowledge and that experience out there. Um, it's just another step closer for people to understanding what this stuff is, because really we all we can all see that stuff like this is real, uh, but a lot like different communities don't believe in it. So this is just another way of getting this out there. And Pete, you have some really cool stories you've told me before. You might have some that I haven't heard of yet, but we've talked about this several times on
Mm-hmm.
certain things that you've been through throughout your life and things that you've seen, and certain tales or some history in your hometown. So, yeah, man, whatever you want to share tonight, the floor is all yours.
Well, I told this over on Enter the Unfamiliar Sunday night show. I was on there. Oh, what was it? A couple weeks ago. And I said, my parents' house is haunted. It's always, it has been. There's been a lot of people who've died there. There's people buried in the yard, either cremated or otherwise. I think all told 5 or 6 people that I said have died in there.
You're from a fairly older town, aren't you?
Yeah,
Is it more of a historical town?
yeah, Houghton Lake is it's older. There used to be a fort here, like an actual military fort. Back it was like Fort Houghton,
Okay.
back in the day, and it was big logging area. There's the theater here is a family owned theater. It's called the Pines Theater. It's actually haunted too. It's kind of cool. I've never experienced anything there. If it wasn't for all the BS last year, all the coof stuff, I was actually going to throw my 40th birthday there.
Oh man.
Um, I was going to rent it out and have some of my friends come up there. You can't drink in there, but I was like going to go out and do dinner and stuff. And then, I don't know what movie I was thinking about them, because you have to pay to rent like a movie, and all told to rent the theater with the movie, it probably would have been about $1,200. But it would have been fun because the theater's gorgeous. I've put pictures of it in some video in one of my retrospects I did when I went to see Goonies there last year. But so
Nice.
it's a very historical type building. It's gorgeous. I think it opened in like 1946 or something like that. Maybe a few years prior, but so anyway, my parents' house was built in what did my mom say? It was like 1930. It was 31 or 32. And yeah, so there's been about 6 people that have 6 people that have died there. And the I've never really talked about the one experience with you I had there. It really freaked me out. Honestly, the first time I talked about it openly with anybody was on finals show a couple weeks ago. Outside of honestly my therapist, who I talked to about it one time because I was like, am I losing my shit? Because I was literally in the middle of like working out. So mind you, this is I moved back home with my parents after I split up with my ex back in was like what '09. So it was probably like it was before I met my wife. So
Okay.
it was late 2009, and I was downstairs working out, and I just got this feeling. You know they say like if there's like an omen or like a ominous spirit or presence, like you can just become like overwhelmed with this feeling of dread, and that's exactly what I had. Um,
Oh, wow.
I couldn't move. I was like just sitting there frozen. Like I knew what was going on, but I couldn't move. And it was like I just like kind of started like sobbing uncontrollably. I was like crying. I'm like I have no idea what the hell is going on.
Really?
Yeah, it lasted about 15. I don't know, 15, 20 seconds, maybe 30. It seemed like forever though. It did. It seemed like forever. And well, turns out one of the people that died in the house had killed himself in the basement, and it was the
What?
it was the owner of the house's old owner of the house's son. Yeah.
Holy cow.
Mm-hmm. So they so that it's just, and that's I've been playing in that basement my entire life. I've been working out down there, my entire life, and I've never experienced anything like that. And I honestly think it was my frame of mind kind of opened me up to it, maybe, and left me somewhat susceptible to it. Is the only explanation I could really come up with because I've never felt anything like that before. It was legitimately scary.
That's crazy. Like, now that's not uncommon from a lot of stories and a lot of people's accounts and what they've been through, especially if a house has a lot of history or some sort of trauma.
Hmm.
Um, and it's mainly older houses that have it, but even new ones could have that. But that's really crazy. That I mean, you never had that issue even when you were a kid. Like it was only when you were an adult, right? You're in your mid 30s, early 30s,
Right now, or that at that point I was like 29.
29. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
never had anything like that happen when you were a kid.
No, no, I never experienced anything like that
Huh.
throughout my childhood. Like I said, been playing down there and all that my entire life, and it just got to like I said, I think I was just susceptible to it, and yeah, it hit me like a freight train. And it was legit terrifying. Like I didn't know what the fuck was going on. Like I'd never, I was like, I
Yeah.
never experienced anything like that. So,
A lot of
um,
people that have experiences like that, for whatever reason, and a lot of people, for the most part, they can't they can't figure out why that happened to them, and they can't figure out if there's some sort of connection or if there's some sort of like open like gateway between you and whatever that may be on the other side. And I just find that very, very, very interesting because I mean, you could be the most stone cold hearted person out there, and you can still experience something like that. And then you can have the nicest person ever with the best intentions in life, and they do everything for people, and they won't experience anything. And then vice versa. Like it's very, very strange. But the fact that you had that experience, you're 29, you're in really good shape. You were wrestling at the time, right?
I'd been in the business for about 2 years at that point. And I was actually doing some freelance modeling. Was sponsored by a supplement company at that point.
Okay.
And yeah, it was yeah, it was totally like I had because like I had issues sleeping after like I broke because like me and my ex were together for like what 7 8 years,
Okay.
and we were never married, had no kids or nothing, but we lived together basically the whole time we were together. So she broke up with me. I had some issues with it because of everything that happened long. No, that's a story for another time.
Okay.
But But no, so I did. I had issues sleeping, so I started going to see like a PA or a therapist, whatever. And it was funny because she was like, "Do you smoke weed?" I'm like, "Yeah." She says, "Don't stop doing that. And if you want to smoke an extra at night," she goes, "please feel free." She goes, "I never discourage anybody from that." She goes, so she gave me, she goes, "I don't want to put you on antidepressants." She goes, "You're clearly not depressed. You're in great shape. You take care of yourself, So she's like, "Why not just some sleeping pills?" And she gave me fucking trazodone, right? I
Yeah,
was,
yeah, okay.
I was terrified to take these fucking things. She told me to take 4 of them. I took 2 and slept for fucking 16 hours.
She told you to take 4 of them?
Yeah, she's like, take up to 4 of them if you need.
Good lord.
Yeah, I was like, okay, and I took fucking 2 of them and I slept for 16 hours. I was fucking done. I never took any more after I just threw them away. I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
good. I'm
that's not
good.
something to play with.
No, I'm like, I can't do that. I don't like taking shit like that. So I was like, I'm done, fuck that. And yeah, it was shortly after that I had that experience, and it's freaky. It really is. And I think I've told you, and I told the story on Finals channel about the like hearing footsteps, and in my room, and my friend was staying the night over there, and he thought it was me walking around, and it
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because I was in bed, and it was my grandmother's ghost, because that was the room that she had passed away, and it was my bedroom that after that. Um, and yeah, she I'd heard her walking around in there before. Not before that, but after that, she I guess she was like finally ready to make her presence known, because she'd been gone for maybe 4 or 5 years, about 4 years at that point.
Okay.
So yeah, Tina Bojan said, "I grew up in a haunted 1930s Chicago bungalow, the same one my mother grew up in. My grandma, and I think it's my grandma and I, were the only ones to interact with a ghost. Wow, was it freaky? Oh, Jesus.
That's that's really cool.
Hell
Chicago
yeah.
has a lot of
Oh, there's a lot of history.
insanely violent history with
The second
everything
city.
from the mob to the Great Chicago Fire,
Yep.
and just the fact that it's Chicago. It's got a high crime rate for decades and decades, even today,
Oh,
obviously. But
yeah.
that's crazy. No, well, go ahead. I don't have an Instagram page. Go ahead and Tina, go ahead and request an invite or a request admission or whatever to the Facebook group. Um, and yeah, go ahead and hit me up on there. And if you want to like share your story or anything on here, I mean, feel free. Feel free to reach out. But yeah, no, but I remember you telling me that story, Pete.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was last. Was that last year?
Probably.
At some point last year. We might have done it on the boardroom or something, or it might have been on one of your shows. But either way, that's interesting too, because people have had stuff like that happen with family members, especially like timing. Timing's a big part in it. And you said that was how long after she passed?
About 4 years, roughly. Yeah, about 4 years after she passed.
Those 4 years.
In
Okay.
in the with the in the bedroom, yeah, when she was walking around in there. Um, yeah, it was about 4 years.
Hmm. And nothing ever happened after that. Like,
Oh no, there was more.
oh really?
Yeah, oh yeah, there was more incidents of her walking around. I just posted a link to your group in the chat. I don't know
Cool.
if I'm wrenched or not on your channel, so it might not let me, because I don't think it's showing on the main chat right now. Uh,
Oh,
so
okay.
wait, did it show in the public chat? I can't tell. But if it didn't, just throw me a wrench,
Yeah,
and
I will.
I'll share links too. Yeah, because I'm not seeing it on my main feed. Yeah, it usually blocks. It'll show like on your screen, but it'll block links if the person's not a mod to keep spam out of the chats. So, but
Okay.
I'm trying to think what else was like. Because there was another one that I hadn't really talked about either. Well, there's like I said, he's buried on the property. His parents are buried on the guy that offed himself in the basement. He's buried there. His parents are buried there. They both died in the house. My
So his whole
grandmother died
family is
there.
pretty much there.
Yeah, and one there's like one other there's one other person buried there. It's like a relative of theirs that's buried somewhere out there. And I think three well my grandma's not buried there, but she's buried down by Detroit. Um but yeah, it's a very we had an experience with the Ouija board there.
Oh
That
man.
was yeah, my cousins and I let one get away from us. Um, we were fucking around with it, you know. It was like my cousins were older than me, and we were playing with this Ouija board, and it gets down to where like, hey, is it moving? You know what? And we tried to figure out, you know, and everybody's backing off of it,
Yeah,
and they're
are you moving it? No,
yep,
you're moving it. No,
and
quit moving it.
literally none of us are moving this motherfucker. But your hand still have to be on it, you know, because it'll kind of guide. And we were like, who are we talking to? And we're kind of joking around. The motherfucking thing spelled out Hitler, and I'm not even joking. I can't make that shit up. And we were like, holy shit, like, and to me, now looking back, I'm like, obviously, I don't believe it was
No.
Adolf Hitler. I believe it was a fucking a spirit, a restless spirit who was definitely had some malicious intent and ill will and looking for a way to break through. Um, we and I told this because, like I said, everybody knows that I've talked about how, like I said, my dad's side of the family, they're Russian Jews, and my grandfather was Jewish, and he converted to Catholicism when he met my grandmother, and so I ended up being raised Catholic. So my mother was Catholic anyway. So she had holy water in the fridge that our priest brought over as a gift. So
Oh,
so me and my cousin were like, what can we do with this thing? Me and my cousin Steven were like, what the fuck can we do with this thing? My cousin Lisa got freaked out. It was just the three of us at the end, you know. My little sisters ran away. My other cousin was like, I'm out. Even my older cousin, she was like, I'm out. So it was just like me, my cousin Steven, who's 2 years older than me, and I was like probably 8, 9 years old. So he would have been like 10,
uh-huh.
11 maybe. And you know, Lisa was like 13. She's freaked out. Kelly, the oldest one, she was like 15. Or 16. She was scared shitless. And my sisters were like, what, fucking 4 and like maybe 2. So the little one was just sitting there, and the 4-year-old, we let her put her hands on, you know, just kind of fucking around, and she got scared. My little sister didn't, you know, she was just sitting there rolling around playing on the fucking floor. She didn't know what the hell was
Just
going on at the
oblivious to
time.
everything. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, she didn't know what the hell was going on. So, luckily for her, but yeah, so we went and got holy water and dumped it on that fucking thing, and then my cousin Lisa's like, "Hey, let's go, let's go use it again later and see if it's still haunted." And we're like, me and my cousin are like, no. She's like, all right, you know. So we ended up getting rid of the thing. Like, I think my mom, because I told my mom what happened. I think I maybe burned it, because we just put it away. And yeah, dude, it's crazy. My parents' house though, there's like false walls. Like, there used to be, it was almost like an attic, but it like bent around corners and shit. That ran the length of the house. Like, there's like false walls in the back of closets, and there's these little like midget and like a hobbit doorways under the stairs and shit.
Do your parents live in the Winchester house?
It's old. Like I said, it's old. It's about 40, almost 5,000 square feet.
Oh wow.
7 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. It's an old house. You know, they've redone the whole thing too. You know, but yeah, there's definitely some energy around there from a lot of crazy shit that apparently, you know, happened before I was born. Well, like part of the upstairs, the owner's son, it was still like he had killed himself there like probably a year before my parents had bought it. Um,
Was that the gentleman in the basement, or was that another person?
no, that was the guy in the basement,
Okay.
and his parents never took down um, the the all the stuff he had. He was growing weed in the upstairs of the house.
Okay.
And my dad's a retired undercover narcotics cop, so he comes in and he's going through and he opens up one of the walls, and it's all like lined with like foil and shit like that. And there was like dirt and pots up there. So he's like, oh my
Oh my
God.
god.
Yeah. So it was like the lamps, everything was gone, but like some of the remnants were there. It was kind of funny. He was like, Jesus. But yeah, so there's like, my sister had this fucking doll. It creeped her out. And there's, in the sitting room area upstairs, there's a spot where it's not morning, buddy. It's almost 10 o'clock at night. There's the guest appearance by Trey for the evening.
Hey Trey.
He's he's already he went out to go sit with mom because he got out of his room now and he'll go sleep in my bed.
Oh.
Yep. Yep, he does that. He usually sleeps for about 3-4 hours, but he's up early tonight, so yay. Um, but yeah, man. So it's a creepy old house. Yeah, it is teen. It's out in the middle of nowhere too. Like it's on 40 acres. Um, like there's a little town like that my parents that it's like about 5 miles away from there, but it's like a post office, a general store, and then like another party store and a little bar. That's about the whole. There used to be a school there. It's an elementary school where I went is still standing, but it's been shut down for 22, 23 years. So
Oh.
that place
Those are
would be
those are
fucking
the
dope to go
creepiest.
inside it. It looks like it. I drove Trey through there because like all the playground equipment is still there. Like if I was gonna shoot a zombie movie and I needed a building, dude, it would be so perfect.
Got them Walking Dead vibes.
Oh, it does because it's all like just worn looking, but like everything's intact. Like the neighborhood kids will still go up there and play on the playground equipment and stuff. But I was just like, man, it needs this needs to be a horror movie. It needs to be shot here.
Now with the incident that happened in your basement,
Hmm.
did you guys get any, or did your parents, I should say, did your parents get any knowledge of any of this stuff from the realtor prior to buying the house, or was this all relayed from the realtor?
The realtor told him in disclosure.
Okay, because I didn't know. Some people, the realtor doesn't tell them anything, and then
Mm.
they'll find out from like news articles or something, or they'll research their house themselves, and then they'll find out.
I guess like from what my dad told me, um, the uh, the realtor was like, I know you're a cop, so I'll clue you in, on this. He goes, there's been, a couple people have died here, and my dad's like, I've seen. I was in Vietnam. He's like, all right, whatever. So he didn't really care because he doesn't believe in any of that shit.
Oh,
He
really?
no, he doesn't. No, he's only the only thing that scares him is the tangible, and
Okay.
he doesn't. I thought, but no. My mom, somewhat. My sisters, they never. After the whole thing with the Ouija board, they never really talked about it anymore. My
You
middle,
said okay. You said your dad was Russian Jewish.
yes,
Your mom's Catholic. Okay,
yep.
just trying to
Well,
get that.
no, my dad's Catholic too. He was
Oh,
because my
he's too.
grandfather converted to Catholicism before my dad was born.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and his wife was Catholic, so my grandpa converted when my dad was born. They baptized him Catholic.
Okay.
So yeah, so we have the heritage, but we don't not the religious. I was raised Catholic and
Okay.
hated every minute of it.
Like most
Um,
people do.
oh God, and then I sent my kid to a Catholic school. So
Well, as long as he gets treated better than a lot of the people that I know that went to Catholic school, I mean, we're
oh yeah,
we're good.
he goes to a freaking great school. Um, it's it is, man. It's like I said, I teach there. It's super nice. Um, Great staff. But I tell you what, I when I was doing maintenance there, because they hired me as the maintenance guy there
Yeah.
during the COVID thing last year because the maintenance man got exposed. So I took his, and then he quit. So I was there for like 3 months as freaking janitor. Um, the basement there's like freezers down there, like walk-in freezers that are like almost as big as my office. and this is like about a 10 by 12 room I'm in. Um, but they're a little bit deeper. Uh, Holy hell, you could hide bodies in these things. I'm like,
Now, did that used to be like a kitchen or some sort?
mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yep.
that's what I'm thinking. 'Cause
Yep.
I
Yeah.
don't always automatically go to cooler for bodies. I usually go for like there's probably a kitchen down there, and then
Yep. It
if you ever
was.
worked at a restaurant before, which a lot of people have,
Yep.
you got those big old walk-in freezers, and you have to grab stuff to make food. So yeah,
Oh yeah, I've worked. Yeah, I worked in the restaurant business, in my teens. Yeah, I hate those things. But yeah, it was funny. I was like, Jesus, dude. But there's so many like rooms on rooms on rooms in the basement. It's like a freaking maze. Um, I was like, oh my god, like I didn't realize how big it was. But yeah, it's another one. It's just like I just an eerie. It's eerie down there. It's very eerie.
yeah.
I don't know.
Now,
Um,
growing up, you grew up Catholic. Now,
mhm.
do they teach kids or even discuss remotely different types of I don't want to say spiritual warfare, but do they teach anything along the lines of the paranormal? Like Catholics Catholics are usually the Christian branch that actually engages in spiritual warfare more so than say Baptists or Methodists or whatever denomination you want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about. But do they discuss anything relating to that? And on a side note, if they do they teach kids or older kids for that matter how to deal with stuff, or is that strictly just like priest stuff?
I never really got any of that. Outside of the Holy Ghost kind of thing,
Yeah.
we really didn't. You know, I just I don't know. It was we never they never touched on that with us. Honestly, the whole any paranormal stuff. At least the priest that I had didn't. And I had to go to what the hell was it? My mom made me go to catechism, and that's why I started playing basketball so I could get out of going to catechism because I hated it. Uh, the last thing I wanted to do was be at church more as a kid. So I started
Like most kids, they don't care.
yeah. So I started playing hoops, and well, my mom found out that I was just I would skip catechism. She would drop me off, and I would walk a couple blocks to one of my friend's house, and I would just walk back up there before she would get there to pick me up. So, but yeah, I just no man, we never got any of that outside of like I said the Holy Spirit, the Holy Ghost, whatever you may call it. That was the only ghost they ever talked about or paranormal stuff with us.
Yeah,
Uh,
because I was about to ask you before you mentioned that you were raised Catholic. I didn't know if the Jewish part of your family, which I mean they all converted, so that's not really a thing anymore. But I was going to ask if like being part Jewish, if that affected your outlook on certain things like that, like the experience you had in the basement, and then
mm-hmm.
the instance with your grandmother. I wasn't really sure if that played a role in it because some people take more of the secular route of viewing the paranormal and what it could be, and then some people take the more religious route and what their community and what their church and or whatever teaches them. So
Well, that's it, man. I kind of look at it from like the old country part of it, which yeah, they were very they believe in things like that, and the Hungarians, man, they're the my mom's side. They're gypsies. Hungarians are
yeah,
notoriously gypsies, and but people, oh, that's a racial epithet. No, the hell, it's not. That's what my people are. The Hungarians, they were gypsies, and they're very, they were very in tune with that sort of thing as well. So I think maybe I was just susceptible to it and didn't know it. And I haven't. It's been a long time since I've had an experience like that. Honestly,
Well, that's good. I mean, I can't imagine going through something like that, and
no, or any, but like I haven't had anything since. I don't think since then. Honestly, that was the last time. But I mean, I think it might have been more along the lines of positive life changes that maybe affected the energy.
probably. I mean, you met your wife not that long after that,
No,
so
a couple months after that.
yeah, a couple months after. So,
Hmm.
I mean, really, that I think of it this way, and for any of you watching or listening, I'm not an expert, so don't take my word for it as, say, you would a doctor or a doctorate or a professor or anything, even though that does sound pretty cool. Um, but from what I've gathered is certain people are it's kind of like a homing beacon for spirits or something else out there, whether that's an actual human spirit or an inhuman spirit, and certain emotions and something like that creates energy. So if you're feeling very depressed or if you're stressed out, working out, depending on what music you're listening to, or if you're in a bad mood, if that's why you're working out, certain emotions like that are going to create certain energy, and then stuff like that's going to be attracted to it. So with somebody like that gentleman that unfortunately took his life in the basement of your parents' house, that's probably more of a likely situation where you're going to have an experience like that versus just a regular suburban house in the middle of such and such city outside of Chicago or something, or outside of Detroit or something. But it, it's interesting, pretty creepy, but I'm glad you haven't had anything else like happen like that. Because
Yeah.
that's just wild,
Oh,
really. Like,
I'm trust me, I'm ecstatic about that. You know what I mean? Um, I shit.
and I want to touch up real quick on when you were talking about the Ouija board that you and your it was your cousins, then you're messing around with that.
Hmm.
How old were you guys?
Let's see. I was what I say, like 8. My little sister was 4. My baby sister was 2. My cousin Steven was 10.
Okay.
Lisa was 13. Kelly was like 16, I think. Yeah. So yeah, we were a variance in age.
So like so of course there's never a good ending for a Ouija board story. Literally every single one that I've heard, it always has a bad ending, or
Right?
just the whole story is just a complete cluster and nothing ever gets solved. But and a lot of people, for whatever reason, I guess, try to summon or talk to Elvis Presley. I don't know why that's a thing,
Yeah.
but there's a lot of stories I've heard and read that they're like, we're trying to talk to Elvis. I'm like, why? Like, he's cool, but come on, man.
Yeah, do you really need to talk to the king? Do you need
I
to
mean,
talk to
he's
the
the king,
king?
but still. But the research that I've done for people that actually know way more than I do, and they get firsthand knowledge and experience, either investigating this stuff or trying to cleanse houses or certain buildings, different locations. Um, that a lot of the darker spirits that you may come in contact with through a Ouija board or some sort of other, uh, I don't know if I'd call a Ouija board a ceremonial type thing, but one of those type of games that you're able to talk to something with, that it kind of gives you that, not gateway, but it kind of it gives you like an advantage or an upper hand on talking to them or reaching out. It's just like using like actual like tangible objects to talk to them, and that's the best way to do it, I guess. Um, but certain things that you can talk to or communicate with through Ouija boards and stuff like that, um, typically they're not good and they're very dark. And a lot of times they can, and this might sound hokey to people that don't research this stuff, but they can kind of read what's in your head and they can kind of figure out what you're thinking about or what you've been through, some of your memories, and they can feed off of that and they can try to manifest that in front of you. So your family's, Jewish,
Yep.
Russian Jewish, grew up Catholic, but and then it spells out Hitler. So I don't think it would do that with just any family.
Yeah.
It could have literally came up with any other name, but the fact that you guys are Jewish, and then it came up Hitler on that, kind of on the nose,
Oh,
especially for something that's trying to scare you.
yep. And
Yeah.
and that's it too. When you look at well, I don't know if you're familiar with like the Ukrainian background at all, but if you've never heard of the day the Earth moved, that's the day they buried a bunch of Ukrainians alive and just plowed over them with dirt and ran over them with dozers.
Now was
Um,
that was that Russia? Was that under Stalin, or was that the Hitler regime?
I have to look that up. Um, I just remember, like, I never really researched that too much. Just my dad and my grandfather talking
Okay.
about it. Um, it
I mean,
was,
either way, like if it's something that dark, more than likely it's going to go try to dig deep into either your past or your family's past and try to find some sort of correlation that'll make you think it's something other than what it actually is. And that's a lot of the that's the advantage it has on physical people, unfortunately. And it's more of just we have to look for the signs and making sure that we understand that there's a huge possibility that it's not something good, and it's not like you mentioned here. Did you hear your grandma going through your house, or just see her, or just hear her?
I heard her.
Heard her. Okay.
I never saw anything.
It's like
And that,
shuffling with a walker or something, or
no, just her feet on the carpet.
okay. So you're
Because
like residual energy, residual
Yeah.
sounds.
Now,
Yeah.
the only time I've ever seen anything was just a blur, because my eyes were kind of half open. My friend saw her. He
Really?
saw her. Yeah.
Did
She
he ever
was
see her before she passed away?
no, no. We didn't know each other
Hmm.
until after she passed away. But she was like standing over him.
So he like described her how you remembered her.
Well, he just said, he's like, "Why are you standing over me, dude?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And because I was like, he woke me up out of a sound sleep. He's like, "Get away from me." He's like, "What are you looking at?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm in bed." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "No, you're standing over me." I said, "No, I'm not." And I turned the light on. And he looks over at me. He goes, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "There was somebody standing over looking at me." I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Huh.
Because then like I said, we'd heard her walking around. He's like, "What are you doing walking around?" Like, "What? I'm not walking around." And it was her footsteps. It was like,
Holy cow.
"Yeah, dude." But she didn't do anything. I think it was grandma, man. She was there checking on us. We
That
weren't
could have
drink
been
we weren't drinking or anything. And did I tell you? Okay, so did I tell you the chair story?
the chair. I don't think you have.
Okay, so me and my friend Scott and Steve, my friend Steve is the one that actually saw my grandmother. She
Okay.
was he passed away in '99, the year after he graduated high school. He drowned.
Oh man.
Yeah. Uh, so he was me, him, and my buddy Scott came back from like one of our high school dances. It was like quarter after 12. We were like 14 years old, 15 years old.
Okay.
We weren't drinking or anything. We get back to my parents' house. My friend Scott's older brother dropped us off there, and we're just gonna hang out, play video games and shit. They were staying the night, and I look in the window through the curtains, and I'm like, my dad's recliner. He had a rocking recliner. It was moving. I'm like, oh, okay. He just got up. He'll open the door because I didn't have a house key. And then I went to ring the doorbell because I figured everybody was sleeping, which it just would have been my mom, dad, my two sisters. And I looked down, and the damn chair was rocking, and then it stopped, and there's nobody at the door. And we're like, what the hell? Like, wait, what? And yeah, turns out they were all upstairs sleeping, and there was no pets in the house or anything. None.
Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah, dude, that was fucking like, holy shit, man. It
Huh.
was crazy, So when I knocked on the door finally, my dad comes downstairs, my mom's at the top of the stairs, my little sisters walk down the other stairs. I'm like, why don't you guys get the door? Oh well, we were I don't know, we were all sleeping. Well, who was in the chair? Nobody was in the chair. What are you talking about? The chair was rocking. We all saw the chair rocking. You guys been drinking? No. You sure? No. Like none of us were drinking. Like that seriously. Like we had
Huh.
alcohol stashed at my house already for that. We were gonna have a few beers, but we hadn't
Huh.
drank anything yet. And yeah. So the fucking chair was rocking. It was like nobody it wasn't my sisters, they were in bed. So that was another one of those times I was like, okay, what the hell? The chair just doesn't rock by itself. So that was freaky too.
Yo, that's see. It's always rocking chairs, and people always see them rocking back and forth on their own. There could be somebody in there. It could be a gust of wind, which usually is not really a gust of wind inside houses, but it could be the AC blowing hard. But usually that's not the case. Um, dude, I think just the the old owner taking his life in the basement. That's got to be it,
I
or
yeah.
something that got attracted to that act.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Damn. Now for like the fact that that happened, plus you're gonna add I guess did your grandma pass away in the house?
Yes, she did.
Okay, well, I'm sorry for that.
Oh, she died of lung cancer. She was only 62. Yeah, 60, 65. I'm sorry, but yeah, yeah, she died of cancer. The owners, the old owners, passed away of natural causes. Um, the other the other death there was I believe natural causes, and then there was the suicide. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's it's a creepy. It's nice, but it can be creepy. Especially at night.
It no, I feel you. One of my grandfathers passed away in my grandma's house, and then I go over there, uh, kind of often, and the room that he passed away in, that used to be like quote unquote like my room to hang out in.
Mm-hmm.
So you go in there now, and it's just it's weird, man. It really does it doesn't get not awkward. And then my other grandma's house, my grandpa didn't pass away in there, but they lived in that house for like probably 50 years, 40, 50 years in that house, and just him not being there in certain places where he used to sit down a lot and where he used to sleep. It's strange, dude.
Yeah.
And not that I've seen anything weird. Although my one of my grandmas, she said she's heard stuff, but I don't really, I don't know. I doubt it personally with that circumstance, but you never know. But damn, and you said people were buried outside of your parents' house, like out in the yard, the front yard, backyard,
Well, they were under a tree, but
under a
it
tree.
yeah, like buried, like they dug a hole and buried them under one of the trees, but they'd taken so many trees down, we'll never know where the hell they're buried. Um,
What is
yeah,
that legal?
I, I back then I guess it was.
Holy
You're
cow!
talking the what mid 70s?
That's weird.
Oh, very,
I don't
very.
even know back then if that was legal in the
Oh,
70s, but
I doubt it.
well, don't let Natty go over there and start digging.
Yeah, right. We got we got fucking Trey said that he said that he saw the sheets move in one of the bedrooms when he was sleeping. He got freaked out one night when he was staying there. Um,
What?
yeah,
Seriously?
yeah, and
What
I
room
told
was he staying in?
he was staying in the room that used to be my grandfather's room. No, 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 no. I'm sorry. He was in my old bedroom.
Huh.
He was in my old bedroom that night. The night all the shit happened with my grandma in. So my dad told him, nothing because, like I said, my dad doesn't. My dad's like, "There's nothing there," And Trey's like, "I saw the sheets move," and I'm like, "Oh God, please don't fuck with the boy. Please don't fuck with the boy." I'm just
Yeah. No, I
if
can't imagine, dude.
if it was my grandma, she was probably trying to tuck his feet in. Like that would have been like honestly, she never made any contact with us. But like I said, if she was doing anything, she was probably trying to tuck his feet in.
Well, here's the thing with little kids, it there's the they're more susceptible to seeing stuff because little kids are so pure. They have that like special like vision, I guess. Like
Mm-hmm.
they see the world through a different lens than us adults do because us adults have been through so much stuff and we're not little kids. So little kids haven't done anything bad. They don't know anything bad unless they're around probably bad parents, but there's that age that I think in the Bible it's a specific age to where, you know, nothing's going to happen to you or
Mm-hmm.
nothing should happen to you. But I do know from what I've of course researched, like kids are for some reason like a beacon for things to be seen, and little kids can easily see stuff that adults aren't going to see. Like you said, Trey's like the sheets moved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I didn't see him move. Well, yeah, but I saw them move, Dad. Well, I didn't.
Yep.
It's like I swear I'm not tripping. So it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It's just you didn't see that, but he did.
Yep. My
So
dad's like, yeah, you're tripping, kid.
it's whatever, man. Everybody's got their thing, and I mean, your dad's been through a lot, and
Oh
he
yeah.
sees things through a different lens, so it's fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
has your dad had anything happen to him to where he knows it happened, but he still will just deny it because there's a lot of people out there that are like that. That the freaking refrigerator could fall on them from the sky, and they'll be like, "Nah, man, that didn't happen."
He never, not that I know of, or he's ever copped to. No.
Okay. What about your mom? Because you said your mom traditionally is Catholic.
Yeah.
Now she probably, like you said, she kind of sort of believes in stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Has she had anything weird happen in that house? I mean,
Not that she's ever told me, and I've asked, especially after that stuff happened to me. I asked her, and
huh?
it took me a while too because, and when I said it, she was like, "That didn't happen." I'm like, "Yes, it did." No, it didn't. Yeah, yeah, mom. I'm like, why would I make? I was like, literally stand nothing to gain from making this up. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
Dang,
why? Yeah. So no, she's never admitted to anything to me about it.
that's insane, dude.
Yeah. So yeah, and like I said, we told her about the Ouija board incident, and she was like, whatever, didn't put any stock in it. She thought, well, one of you guys was moving it, and to this day, all of us are still like, none of us moved that damn thing. You know?
That's something where you'll always have those stories, and you can tell people, and it's cool because when you have experiences like that, like any of the stuff that you mentioned, you know that stuff like that does exist and that there's a possibility of something like that happening. So you're already kind of somewhat sort of prepared for it, even though guarantee you if me or you saw something right now, none of us would be like emotionally ready for it. But in the back of your head, you're like, yeah, it's this thing. This is why it's happening.
Yep.
But
Oh yeah. I'm honestly I'm to the point where it's like I kind of welcome another experience. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah, well, hey, be careful what you wish for. You never know what can or can't happen. Or
yeah, that's the caveat
so
is
yeah. I mean, my thing is something happens, okay, but I me personally, I would never like try to either egg something on because the last thing you want to do, challenge anything or actually like welcome something. Like it's one thing to be kind of like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool, but the whole other thing if it's like, here's a brand new doormat, wipe your feet on it, here you go, walk in. So,
yeah.
um, so before we get going, for before we end tonight's show, I want to go over a couple articles. Nothing too crazy. Well, actually, the first one's kind of crazy. I'm debating on sticking to one tonight because we're
Mhm.
almost at an hour, and I don't want to go 2 hours. But let's see. Do you want to do the somewhat more easygoing article, or do you want to look at the crazy one?
Oh, I want the crazy one,
I
man.
want the
That's
crazy one. All
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
So everybody in the chat, everybody watching or listening, here we go. I'll save the other one for another time,
That's a
as
video
Maz
for you
Kanata
right
would
there.
say. It's a story for another time.
You just quoted Maz Kanata.
I know. Little orange carrot,
With butthole eyes.
butthole eyes. I hate that freaking character. All right. So screen share this article. So this comes from Medium.com. Sister Maria wrote an evil letter dictated by Satan. So I found the story a couple weeks ago, and I read through this, and I watched maybe 4 or 5 videos on this. And most of the videos, they're scripted pretty much the same because it's people reading off an article. But this story is pretty crazy, and here we go. And yeah, if you're in the chat, just let us know what you think of this story. But in the 17th century, a pious nun named Sister Maria, I don't know how to pronounce this, but uh, Cro- Crucifissa, Detta Concisione, I don't know.
Hang on, let me see. It's
But
it's
residing in Italy, wrote a mysterious letter in a code language. The letter gained much notoriety because of its blasphemous nature. Sister Maria claimed that she had been strongly possessed by Lucifer when she had written the letter. She was a kind nun who enjoyed participating in chores, choirs, and rituals of the church. After spending a few years as a nun, Sister Maria started suffering from fainting bouts. So I don't know what kind of mental issue she had. I don't know if she was having like uh, small seizures or something like that. Because when I was doing some research on this, that was one of the speculations that she probably had some sort of medical issue. But
mm-hmm.
nonetheless, this story's crazy, so I'll continue.
Yeah.
Uh, in August of 1676, quite a long time ago, the church's nuns inquired about Sister Maria when she failed to show up during a choir. The nuns found Sister Maria in a disheveled condition in her cell, with a letter beside her that she claimed Lucifer dictated. The nuns helped Sister Maria to return back to normal life after the horrific incident. But in 2017, a group of researchers confirmed that the letter was devilish after decoding it. Sister Maria's ordeal remains a mystery and raises many questions about her mental health. So, that's one of the things that a lot of people, including me, I try to look at when it comes to stories like this
Mm-hmm.
because you never know. Um, but this lady apparently she was bilingual. She spoke several different languages. So
Okay.
it's not too out of the ordinary to where she had an episode and then she just wrote down whatever. But it could
Mm-hmm.
have been something supernatural. But we'll continue. Young Maria becomes a devoted nun. Maria, whatever her name is, I'm not going to try to say that again because I don't speak Italian, was born as Isabella Tomasi in Italy. She was the ancestor of uh,
Giuseppe.
Giuseppe Tomasi de Medusa. Maybe I pronounced that right. I don't know. But a famous Italian writer. Although much of the details of her childhood are unknown and undocumented, it is believed that she came to the island of Sicily when she was only 15. Sister Maria chose to devote her life to God at a very young age. She then entered the Benedictine convent and became a nun. She served as a nun after that. Sister Maria was baptized after joining the covenant and was then renamed Maria. Do you know how to pronounce this?
Maria Crocifissa della Concione.
Concione. Okay.
It's probably I wish Vinny was here. My buddy Vinny Tartamella. He's obviously Italian, and yeah, he's really good with all that. I'm probably still butchering it, but I figured I'd give it the old college try.
Well, hey, we can bring him on the show so he can help us read articles.
Right, Vinny? We got
uh,
Italian names we need transcribed.
Bobby the Boopy.
Peter, just because you have a mustache doesn't mean you can speak Italian. Baba da boopy, baba da boopy.
She was a friendly person and quickly gelled up with fellow nuns. She would actively take part in everyday rituals of the covenant. Sister Maria enjoyed singing in the choir with other nuns. Her faith in God grew stronger. She prayed most of the time, devoting her time entirely to her religion. So, the birth of Lucifer and Sister Maria, first signs. Um, Now, I don't know if this was a strictly mental episode, and this is something she was dealing with for several years, or she actually did have these, you know, issues with, I guess, being possessed. I don't know, but no sooner a weird change started becoming apparent in Sister Maria's behavior. She started developing a temper for unknown reasons. Historical experts believe that Sister Maria started being too hard on herself, which led to her become frustrated and eventually raise her temper on petty matters. Um, so again, that doesn't seem like it's too out of the ordinary. People have, anger issues all the time. I mean,
Oh
especially if
yeah.
someone's in a very strict environment, like being a nun,
Mm-hmm.
it's understandable. And a lot of people, I bet, could, you know, talk about their times in Catholic schools and nuns being pissy. So
Yeah. Oh
maybe
yeah.
even you. I don't know if you got the ruler to the hand or something. Or
Oh no, my dad actually went to a Catholic high school in Detroit for what 5 days, and he got kicked out because one of the nuns went to slap his hand with a ruler, and he grabbed it and he broke it, and that's how he ended up going to Detroit Cody High School.
holy cow! I
Yeah.
apologize, everyone. The dogs are a little spicy tonight, which they always are. So you might hear more of them later. They're trying to get a cameo, I guess. All right. One day, Sister Maria joined the nuns for a prayer. She started yelling at the top of her lungs as if somebody had stabbed her. She then immediately fainted after screaming. The nuns were frightened yet worried about her condition. It was not long after it was not long before this became a ritual. Sister Maria would often shriek during prayers and fall unconscious. She was treated for her panic attacks, however, her situation remained unchanged. Sister Maria deep down knew that her situation was much worse than any medical treatment could cure. She started having visions of the devil. However, the thought of being possessed never crossed her mind because she was a faithful and practicing believer. The mental condition of Sister Maria grew immensely, jeopardizing in no time. So, I don't think confessing to a priest is going to help, but you know, she confessed that
Yeah.
she was possessed by Lucifer to the priest when she felt an intense fit of rage. It's kind of a stretch, but whatever. She targeted her anger towards the priest. After coming to her senses, Sister Maria showed no signs of being aware of what she had done, she started praying even more to avoid her haunting imagination. So that's kind of a stretch, just going from having some what it looks like medical issues straight to Lucifer's possessing me.
Right.
But I mean, this was 1676, quite a long time ago. So I don't
Yeah.
think they were as rational back then. But whatever. So the nuns gathered in a prayer hall to sing for the choir as usual. One of the nuns noticed that Sister Maria was missing. She asked other nuns about her, knowing that her condition was worrisome. No one knew where the supposedly possessed nun was. A few nuns started looking for Sister Maria. They found her in a cell in a shocking state. She looked physically distressed and was lying on the floor, her face covered in black ink. So that's
Sheesh.
a little off. So it just picturing in this just sounds crazy. Just a regular nun, just having some issues. So, and you can obviously see the letter right here. The nuns found a letter beside Sister Maria. It was written in an unusual language in what appeared to be code words. The sisters asked Maria about it, who was unable to recall anything about the letter. She claimed that Lucifer had taken control of her body and wrote the letter in the magic writing. A wave of horror fled across every cell of the covenant. So the contents of this letter is kind of crazy. It doesn't even look like anything that we could even slightly decipher.
Uh-uh.
Um, so, um, so later we'll find out what it actually is or what it partially says. But yeah, I mean, not that me and you are super worldly
Yeah.
and we know all different languages and what the writing looks like, but this looks like something from like a movie.
Oh yeah, dude. This is like, what is that? National treasure. Like
Yeah,
that's
get
what it
get the
reminds me of.
get the lemon juice and the infrared light.
Yeah, dude. Come on, help. Where's
So the
Nicolas Cage?
300-year-old famous letter written by Sister Maria contained 14 lines. Part of it was decoded and claimed that the concept of Trinity and the existence of God were a joke and nothing else. Lucifer mocked humans for believing in the idea of God. He supposedly wrote that humans were wasting their time building baseless beliefs about the afterlife, as such a thing did not exist. The only reality was that Lucifer was supreme to everything. So, if this is real, of course that's a lie, but it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that 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 is freaking crazy. But
So,
at the same time, you got to remember if Lucifer is telling you something, I mean, I would kind of believe the opposite of what he's saying. You know what I mean?
of course.
Not a very trustworthy guy.
Well, that's the thing. He's always lying.
Yep.
And every single time, every chance he's going to get, he's going to try to lie to you. Now, I'm I'm not always going to try to shove my faith and my beliefs down the throat of my audience, but this is just basically this is what I believe in. I'm a Christian, so uh, if I start talking about this, this is what I believe in. But if you have a different belief or anything, um, coming onto this channel, following and subscribing, and if you watch the videos, if you have a different religious belief, um, I don't really think if you're a Satanist, I don't really want to hear about it, but I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, if you're like Buddhist and you have your specific beliefs or anything like that, I'd like to hear it. I think it's cool. But
I own a copy of the Satanic Bible actually.
how the hell did you get that?
I've had it since I was in high school. I bought it from a secondhand bookstore. I was doing a book report on world religions.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I mean,
Yep.
it's
So
kind of crazy. It's kind of a leap that you got that one, but
yeah. So I have a copy of it written by Anton Zander LaVey.
I
The
don't know who that is. But
he's the high priest of the Church of Satan, and he actually made a guest appearance on American Horror Story Apocalypse, as they were doing a kind of like a black mass, and they needed to recruit the son of Satan, who this one character was, and he was one of the emissaries who went to him. So yeah, it was kind of cool to see him on there. Um, he's an interesting little fellow. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, that's a real thing, though. You know what I mean? They have their own. I really wish I remember. It's in my garage. I'll literally have to get it out of the garage and show you this thing. It's freaking crazy, dude.
Yeah, show me definitely later on.
Yeah, I will.
Not on air,
Absolutely.
because
No,
we're
no.
because the it's kind of bad timing to be talking about this and then hey, let's bring out
Yeah,
that devil
exactly.
Bible.
I'm not bringing the Devil Bible out right now.
What became of Sister Maria afterwards? So the spine-chilling night of August 11th was forgotten. The nuns started taking greater care of Sister Maria. There was little information about what became of her after the incident. No one really knows what happened to her. Neither was her later life documented in historical events. However, the incident lived forever with its evergreen memory or mystery. So part of me thinks that there is either more to the story or there just simply wasn't and they didn't care. But the Catholic Church covers up everything.
Oh
So
yeah.
I wouldn't put it past the church to cover a good bit of the story up or like the rest of her life up. But who knows? But research proved the letter to be evil. So this is kind of crazy. Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, 69 right there.
Huh.
But in 2017, dude, this was just recent. In
Jesus.
2017, researchers at the Ludum Science Center in Italy decoded the 300-year-old mysterious letter from the possessed nun to better understand the case. Scientists took a deeper look at the life of Sister Maria. They came to know that she had an excellent grip over Greek, Latin, and Arabic. The background of Sister Maria helped the researchers in analyzing the overall case. They used code breaking software from the okay, so they use code they went to the dark web to be able to decode this thing.
Mm.
Researchers interpreted 70% of the letter with the help of the software and confirmed that it was nothing but pure evil. They claimed that the tone of the letter was okay. So this thing was bad. I'm just like you might know the languages, but what would bring somebody to the breaking point of having an episode and then writing this down?
Yeah.
Especially if you don't really believe in this stuff. Like
Yeah. Yeah. That's
uniformly pessimistic and threatening. What brings somebody to write something like that?
ah.
If you're a nun, like I don't know, usually nuns got a pretty tight grip around their belief
Mm-hmm.
and they're pretty strict. So I think that's crazy. Um, but yeah, so I don't. Does it say what it actually is written on there? Yeah, but anyways, but yeah, guys, if you all want to go on YouTube, go ahead and just Google search the evil nun letter or whatever. There's videos on it all over, and it kind of goes into detail. But a lot of the videos they actually have the full like what the letter says. So it's creepy as hell. I don't know really how to take that. Besides, she was either mentally ill, something happened, and then she just had an episode, or something legit, took control of her. But and it might not even have been Lucifer. Like, of course, they're just it's in the 1600s, so they kind of jumped to the conclusion it's Lucifer, not just a demon. It's Lucifer. That's him.
it was it was the El Diablo. El Diablo.
It's like getting an email from like Walmart about a promotion. It's like the I got an email from Mr. Walmart himself. It's like, okay,
Mm. Mr.
cool it, Bethany. Okay.
Mr. Walmart. That's that's like that's like Mr. Coffee.
All right. Well, Pete, do you wanna close out everything and tell everybody where they can find you at outside of pursuing paranormal?
outside of here, you folks can find me at Etep Wokuian's The Place to Be Reviews. I review Batwoman and I hate myself for it. I also do live streams Monday night, 8:30 Eastern. Myself, my co-host Tony Tonedeaf, and the assistant regional manager, the Red Gaze. We have a guest on every Monday night with us as we go through the pressing pop culture topics, news, views, rants, and everything else, along with our normal segment, which is just the headlines on Monday night. And if there's any Brie Larson news, of course, we always go inside Brie Larson. Tuesday nights, you can find me on Rogue Squadron on the Supreme Heretics channel, part of the Rogue Entertainment family. Wednesdays, you can find me right back on my channel, my Rogue Entertainment show, Going Rogue. If you missed last night's show, go back. It was a barn burner. It was World Class Wednesday as Jeff, Nick, Kendo stopped by. The God Empress Jessie Milestone joined Tony and myself as they are prepared, and they're all hanging out in Las Vegas right now. Well, Tony's out there rubbing elbows with drunk 3PO, and not to name drop, but he sent me a picture of him with Nick Glenn from Echo Base.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Nick's coming to Horror Hound. Yeah, but I'm moving into my plans for there. So tomorrow morning, on Thursdays, you can find me on my channel at 9:30 a.m. until 11 a.m. for your morning drive. We have mornings with the Place to Be reviews. That's Thursday and Friday, 9:30 Eastern till 11 Eastern. Also, this weekend, if you're in or around the Grand Rapids, Michigan area, you can find me at Grand Rapids Comic Con at the Deltaplex, right downtown Grand Rapids, beautiful downtown Grand Rapids. I'll be staying down there with myself, superfan Adam Shawhan. Hail Tina Bojan, have a great night. I have Tina props. She's everywhere. I see her in the chat everywhere.
Thanks for joining us, Tina.
She's
I appreciate
awesome.
it.
Tina's such a great supporter. Yeah, so we've got, we'll be hanging out. Me and superfan Adam Shawhan will be down there with Phoenix Animation. We'll be chilling down there this weekend, Saturday, down at the Comic-Con. And probably hitting up the some local watering holes afterwards. And, yeah, doing that up. But then, like I said, I have single release videos, guys, this week with my schedule. I've been trying. My kid goes back to school in 2 weeks. I've been trying to spend some more time with him. So I know I only put one single release out this week. Probably not going to be another one until next week. But Batwoman's coming back. I'm going to review why.
Oh,
I'm going to review why The Last Man. All the man die and the woman folk are left to tend to the world. So I'll be reviewing that, and yeah, there's a lot more coming. It's almost September, which means it's almost October. My horror reviews will come back. I'm going to start working on some of those now. I still owe you guys Friday the 13th Part 8. But yeah, I'm going to do another franchise, which I will be selecting within the next couple weeks and letting you guys know what I pick as to what you will see me review during the month of October. And we'll have horror-themed live streams and things like that. We've still got the Groovinator watch party coming up. I have to put the list together for that. So that's all coming on the channel. And like I said, we're at 769 subs. I was at 772 earlier. Apparently, YouTube doesn't like me. So if you're subscribed, cool, thank you. Tell a friend. Make sure you're still subscribed, though, because YouTube does take our subscribers away, and I am pushing to 1,000, trying to get this thing over the hump here. But yeah, subscribe to Cody. When I clicked on your name on YouTube, you had 5 subscribers. You're up to like 11 now. So you picked
13.
up 13. Well, shit, dude,
Yep.
you picked up subs tonight. See, this is excellent, man. This is excellent.
Hey, thanks for bringing some people over and showing them the channel, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, brother. I want to help, and like I said, we put it out on Twitter. It got retweeted a couple times. I appreciate people doing that. My family and the Phantom Collective, we'll be doing a team stream over there next Wednesday. We have a team stream next Wednesday at 1 Eastern. I'll be on that as well for a couple hours. Yeah, I'm everywhere on YouTube. I was on the High Council this past Tuesday. I was on Mindless. Yeah, Tuesday night I streamed for 9 hours straight.
Yeah, Tuesday you're busy as hell, dude.
I did the Rogue Squadron over on Supreme Heretics channel, right over to the High Council for almost 4 hours, and then right over to Jesse Milestone's channel for 3 hours until 3 in the morning. Then I was up at 6.
Dude, that's
Um,
insane.
mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed that High Council episode. That was even better having you on there, like knowing that you're on there finally. And I mean, that was a lot of fun
It
listening to
was, and the chat kicked my ass a little bit for a minute, but it's okay. It's all right.
that. They did.
They did. They beat me up, but I have thick skin, man. I do. It's fine. Like I said, I'm a heel, and that's all right. But no, thank you for having me on, brother. This has been a blast, man. Thank you.
Anytime, brother. Anytime. Love having you on here. Love
Absolutely.
doing these shows with you, whether it's here or on your channel or anyone else's. Man, it's awesome. But thanks for telling us your stories and your
You're welcome,
experiences,
man.
and hopefully I can hear some. Well, I don't know. Hopefully I don't hear anything else about that basement thing, but
Yeah, I'm good if nothing else. If nothing else ever happens down there again like that, I'll be completely fine with that. Like I
well,
said, that
hey, if
was
you hear any more or you anything else happens, man, just let me know. Bring you
there.
back on here,
There
and
is a place I want to check out up here. It's that Parashini.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a old ghost town, supposedly haunted.
okay.
There's the witch's grave there supposedly, and yeah,
Oh,
so I'll go out there. I'm not gonna go out there at night because some people like to go out there and do some messed up shit at night. So I go out there during the day so I can see and shoot some footage of. There's not much left of the town, but there's a history of it. I'll send you a link to it, and when I get some stuff, I'll come back on and I'll put together some video and stuff like that.
heck yeah, sure, yeah, I'll definitely look that up. Yeah, send me the link, and
Yeah,
I'll check out what you're talking about. That sounds
absolutely,
kind of
bro.
crazy. There's
It
stuff like
is.
that
It
around
is.
here, and yeah. So for those of you tuning in, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Everybody in the chat, superfan Adam Shawhan and Frank and the Shawhan Wiener Dog Clan. Thank you again. Welcome to my madhouse. Fun University. Thank you again. Tina
Bo
Bojan,
Bojan.
Bojan. Thank you again, Mr. Peabody, Comics Du Nord. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in tonight. And anybody else that wasn't in the chat that I didn't name, thank you again. Pete, thanks for being on here. We'll
You're
be back
welcome.
for some more videos later on in the next couple weeks or so. Um, there are some other plans. If you want to go ahead, check out that live stream I did last week. I kind of briefly touch up on what I want to do with the channel, and check out the other videos that I did prior to that. I got I don't know, maybe like 3 other ones on there. So that's it. Everybody, thank you very much again for tuning in tonight to Pursuing Paranormal Live. Y'all have a great day. Be safe, and we'll see you next time.